I want you to think about this for a minute. Every single morning, you have to wake up and make a very important decision. What are you going to wear? And if you have a closet that is cluttered and full of stuff that you don't love or doesn't fit you properly, making that decision can actually be very overwhelming, and that doesn't really set you up for a successful day. So in this video, I am going to show you how to do a closet declutter. It's a system that I have kind of refined, pulled other ideas from, and just developed over the years. It works really well for me, and you probably know this about me by now. I don't like cleaning or organizing. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing it, but I do like results. So I'm going to get you that results-oriented closet decluttering method. We are going to get you into a closet that you absolutely love so that all of the clothes you want to wear that fit you and that feel good are right in front of you at any given time, making getting dressed a lot easier and your mornings a lot less overwhelming. The first step to decluttering your closet is decluttering your bed or the floor, because you are going to need a clean space. The next thing you're going to do is move everything out of the closet and put it onto your bed or the floor, wherever that clean space is. Why this is important is because you need a large surface area where you can dump all of your clothes out. And it will surprise you how much space your clothes actually take up when you do this job. Now, if you have a very large walk-in closet, you might need to work section by section. In my room, we have two small kid-sized closets. I get one, Chad gets one. So when I declutter my closet, everything pretty much fits on my bed, but I have to do my drawers separately because they will take up additional space. So anything that you plan to declutter, that's what you're gonna do. Rip it out, put it on the bed. So now that you've done that, you have a blank slate inside, it's time to sort through each garment. And you are not going to spend hours deliberating and going down memory lane every time you pick up a top or a pair of pants. This is a rapid fire task. So you're gonna need 3 sections. One for garments you're keeping, one for garments that you're donating or selling, and one for garments that you are putting into textile recycling. Now you're going to be very methodical here. You're going to pick up a garment and you're going to look at it. You're just going to check in with your body. It's kind of like meditation, and you're going to get a sense of, how does this make me feel? Does it make me feel happy? Do I love wearing this? Or does this make me feel miserable? Cass from Clutterbug calls these pieces of clothing bullies.
Every time you look in the closet and you see those clothes and you feel bad about the life you're living today, that makes those clothes toxic bullies. And we aren't living for the past, we're living for the future. And if there's clothes in your closet that make you ache for somebody that you are not today, they are bullies. And it is time for you to empower yourself and love yourself enough to only have clothes in your closet that make you feel good.
Do they make you feel bad? Do they make you feel guilty? Do they bring up negative emotions? Do you feel like, oh, I used to wear that when I weighed less, or I'll save that for a day where, I lose 20 pounds, whatever the case is. If it's making you feel bad in any way, shape, or form, it doesn't belong in your closet anymore. I know this is hard. I know. I've done it. But once you get rid of that stuff, it's no longer taking up physical or emotional space in your closet anymore, and you will only have the clothes that you really love and that fit you well right now. While you're doing this, you might come across some garments that have price tags on them, or in the online world, it's called NWT, new with tags, or if you remove the tag because you were feeling eager but you never actually wore the item, it's NWOT, new without tags. These clothes are little hidden gems. They are little hidden gold nuggets in your closet, because if you're not wearing them, like if you haven't worn them yet, you're probably not going to wear them unless you have a special occasion coming up that you bought it specifically for. So this is a garment or an item that you can sell. You can go on Facebook Marketplace, Poshmark, you can take it to a consignment shop. There are lots of different options for you to find a second home for a garment that you are just not wearing. And the fact that it has a price tag on it allows you to get more closer to face value for that garment, whereas if you were going to sell something that you've worn, say 10 times, you would probably get a lot less for it. So yeah, if you haven't worn the stuff, just move on, sell it, and recoup some of that cash. I cannot stress enough the importance of having a maybe pile in your closet. This is the pile where those garments you can't quite make a decision on. And remember, I only want you to spend 5 seconds on each garment max. But if you're really struggling and you're like, I don't know, I'm not sure, it goes in the maybe pile. Now, this is like 10% of your stuff, 10%. It can't be like 50% of your stuff in the maybe pile, because then all of your clothes are gonna be all over the floor. But this is for stuff where you're like, I like it, but I haven't worn it in a while and I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna wear it again. In that case, it goes in the maybe pile. And in fact, this is in my closet, and sometimes when I'm just scrolling through trying to look for a garment, if I come across something and I'm like, ugh, that old thing, I will just rip it off and put it immediately into the maybe pile, because I don't want to give too much energy to these pieces of clothing. Like, if I'm not wearing them and I got that reaction, it's telling me something. So why I keep this in my closet for a period of time is because every now and then I'm like, oh yeah, what about that picnic table shirt that I have? I so want to wear that again. So I go to the maybe pile, I pull it out, wear it, and reintegrate it into general population. However, if 6 months or so has passed and I'm like, yeah, I haven't needed these sweatpants in 6 months, then I know I'm over them. And this stuff can be donated or sold. It can move on from my life. I'm good. For the garments that you've decided to keep, this would be the time to hang them up and put them back in the closet. One thing I want you to consider is the type of hangers that you have. Now, I understand this might seem aesthetic, and I would say this is about 60% aesthetic and 40% meaningful for your clothing. But having consistent and good quality hangers really does make a difference. There are two options that I would recommend for a closet. The first one are velvet hangers. This one is a cloud shape, which is actually not great for clothing, but very cute for a baby's room, which is why we have it. The reason why velvet hangers are good and people like them, two key reasons. First of all, the velvet provides a little bit of friction, so you don't have the clothes slipping around. Second, they are slim profile, so you can actually get quite a bit more clothing into the closet than you could if you were using something bulkier like a wood hanger. Now, the downside to these is that you can shove more stuff in your closet. So it can actually be harder to find things because you've packed it so tightly. So personally, I'm not a fan of velvet hangers. We transitioned to wood hangers, and we didn't do this all at once because, let's be honest, it's expensive. But what you can do is you can pick out old hangers that you have, the ones from the dry cleaners, the ones from department stores 27 years ago that are yellowing, you know, the ones that you had in university, like the plastic ones, they're done. You can sort of put those all to one side. And then every time you go shopping, once a week, once a month, whatever the case may be, just buy yourself a new pack of wood hangers and slowly start to replace them. I like wood hangers for a couple reasons. First of all, they just look nicer. Remember, I talked about that aesthetic and purposeful mix. They really do look nice. But second, they are more supportive for your garments. If you're lucky enough to have shelving in your closet, you can use that to store shoes if you love shoes as much as I do. Now, another alternative for shelving is bulky sweaters. You can fold and stack about 3 sweaters high. Personally, I prefer shoes, but there is a rule for shoes in closets, and that is you want to keep them in a box for 2 reasons. First of all, shoes get smelly. And second of all, they have dirt. So you really don't want to be putting raw dog shoes in your closet and sort of exposing all of your clean clothing to the effects of your dirty, stinky shoes. Rather, you want to keep them in a box. Now, you can use the free box that comes with your shoes, or you can, if you want to keep things consistent, invest in some nice plastic boxes that are see-through so you can see the shoes. It also has a bit of ventilation so the shoes can air out, but of course not stink up the place. Now, if you are someone that deals with smelly shoes, what you can do is take a little sachet, fill it with some baking soda, and put it into the shoe box, and that will just help sort of manage odors. But this to me is the best way to go. And the nice thing about shoe boxes, of course, is if you don't have shelves, you can use your boxes and stack the ground in your closet high with shoe boxes so that you can maintain your shoes and you don't have to worry about finding tons of space for them. Up until I started Clean My Space, this is how I would hang jeans in my closet. And I would constantly deal with the angry seas of the jeans swaying back and forth and messing up my closet. It looked inconsistent. Sometimes they would fall off. It was a mess. So the best way I have found to hang jeans is like so. And the reason I love this is because it looks so consistent, it's clean, and also it makes it very easy to find the type of jean that you're looking for. You can see the label, you can see the color, you can see the buckle. It's all good. Like, this is the best. So what you're gonna do, if you want to be fancy, you can button up your jeans at the top. You're gonna hold your hanger in one hand, kind of right in front of you, and the jeans in the other. You're gonna sneak one corner of the hanger right into the middle of the crotch of the jeans like this, and you're going to have the jeans hanging just like that. Now, I'm doing this very slow to show you, but this takes me no time. Then you're gonna lift up one leg and you're gonna flip it over the other side of the hanger. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other leg and flip it over, repeating your action. Now your jeans are hung nice and neat and even. And then when you have all of your jeans lined up like this, it really has that nice boutique-y feel, and you will never have to worry about your jeans slipping off the hanger. If you have long items in your closet, but you don't necessarily have the hanging space for them, I'm gonna show you a really quick and easy hack. So you've already got the garment on one hanger, and you're gonna grab another hanger, put it in your other hand, and simply feed the bottom of the garment over the bar of the hanger like so. Now, you have two options here. You can either hang both like this in the closet, or you can hook this hanger right here on the bar of the other one. So now you've shrunk how much space this is going to take up in your closet. Because I have a small closet, I do a closet changeover twice a year, meaning I change out my fall winter clothes for spring summer clothes and vice versa. Now, what's nice about this is I never get sick of looking at my clothes for too long. Like when I put this sweater away, well, I pull it out 6 months from now and it feels new again. So there is value to doing a closet changeover. And like I mentioned earlier, we do have an ebook on how to do a closet declutter and a closet changeover. I've got that linked for you down below. It is an incredible system. It's made a huge difference for me. And while, trust me, I want a walk-in closet the size of this bedroom, I actually find that a smaller closet works really well for me because I'm constantly curating what's in there. I'm only keeping what I love, what fits me, and what looks really good. Now, when I go through this changeover process, I do exactly what I just outlined in the video. I bring everything onto the bed. I sort through each piece. The difference is I'll fold up and store the things I'm keeping for the off season, put them in bins, and then I pull everything out of bins for the new season upcoming. I go through the same process before I reintegrate them back into my closet. So I am constantly editing my stuff because I just don't have the space otherwise. And what's really interesting is it's made me more mindful as a shopper. Like I'll buy something and I'll say, is this a 4-season piece? You know, because I live in Canada, so it's cold and hot and everything in between. Or is this something super trendy that I'm only gonna wear a couple of times? So it really makes me consider what I'm buying because I also am acutely aware of what I am constantly getting rid of. So especially with those faster fashion pieces, I am much more careful about what I buy now. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. We really appreciate it. Watching a Clean My Space video until the end shows a lot of commitment. A lot of commitment. If you want some folding hacks, I have an entire playlist for you to check out. It's right over here. And remember, if you haven't done so already, you can subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.